Welcome to part 2 of The Virus. The lead pilot of the heavily depleted cyborg group left his craft and made his way from the docking bay to the flight deck of the station. Even for him, there was an uneasy feeling. Something told him deep down that this was not somewhere to remain any longer than necessary, and he hoped that after getting a message through to base, that the robot mechanics and his team would have located all of the parts for the repairs and they could be on their way. On the surface, all looked normal, but around many of the inspection hatches of the on-board workings, there was a slight seepage of a gelatinous substance. As he slipped into the main elevator, which would take him directly to the flight deck, he passed his gloved finger over the odd substance that oozed out of the joints to the air duct close by the entrance. It was tacky, almost like a sticky grease used in the mechanisms of old machinery. As he looked at it on his fingers, it seemed to change, grow darker, and he could have sworn he felt something inside his glove. Then the doors opened and he put it out of his mind, unconsciously rubbing his glove on his flight suit to clean it. He strode across the space. The robots were aware of him entering, but did not seem unduly perplexed, nor did any do more than acknowledge him with a nod of their head slightly as he passed. As he approached the main communications desk, however, the robot operator stood and faced him. "Commander? We are at your disposal. What message do you wish to send to your base? And what is the code for that specific zone, so we can accommodate you correctly?" The commander told it, the code, and said he would sooner send the message himself. He received a nod, and the robot sat and started to enter the code to open the channel. Then it sat almost as if someone had turned it off. The lights were flashing on the console, and while there still had not been a reply, which felt strange in itself, the commander didn't question this, as it was possible that this station had itself experienced some damage during the wars. However, time seemed to pass beyond what would be simply a slow connection, and there was no communication from the robot either. "What is the hold-up? I need to get this communication off, and as soon as the repairs are complete, be on our way." The robot slowly turned. "No hold-up, sir. The connections are working perfectly. But as of this time, the receiver has not come back. Are you sure you gave me the correct code?" The still sentient part of the cyborg was getting agitated. "Of course. Move over. Let me put it in myself. This is ridiculous. And maybe you can check with the docking bay we entered and find out how long the repairs will take. I want to get moving. We have a war to fight." The robot moved, and he took its place, immediately typing again the code for his section and base radio communications. Then, while he waited, he looked around him. This should only take a couple of nanoseconds. Sure, the robot had missed keyed. He now relaxed slightly. He, after all, didn't ever make mistakes. The robot was over by the wall with the others on the internal communications and other engineering consoles, which monitored everything on board. The only sound was the hum of the electronics. No other sound was within his hearing. While he waited, he again looked at his glove, where he had smeared the dark ooze, and for a second registered that it had more or less gone. Just a very faint discoloration remained. And then the scratchy, distant connection reply came in, breaking his thoughts. And now to business. "Commander, we thought Squadron DX-296 had been lost. What is your status?" The cyborg felt nothing but relief and replied, "Our communications and hyperdrive were disabled in the last skirmish. There are 5 of us here, and we are doing what repairs we can before coming back to base. I am waiting to hear from the mechanics as to how far they have got, and I can then tell you our ETA to the wormhole. While I'm connected, I would like to state there appears to be a plasmic film around sections of this station. I don't know when it was last visited, but maybe the maintenance crew needs to be asked to investigate. The connection was breaking between static, again something unusual, and noted by the commander. His human, sentient part felt a chill. Repeat, please repeat. The signal is breaking. What is going on there? Are the robots still operating? Frustrated, the commander answered. Yes, but things are not feeling right. Wait, I want our ETA so in case we lose contact, you know where to expect us. Turning to the console wall, where the robot had moved to when he took its seat, he now called across for an update. It turned towards him and confirmed the work was nearly complete. It would give them a basic hyperdrive and localized communication only. However, one of the pilots asked for him to come immediately. Damn! What now? Turning back to speak to base, he didn't have a chance, as he was given coordinates to go to and a ship would meet them. They could leave their fighters and pick up new ones on board and go back to the front line. Then the connection broke. Having made contact, there was no more need to remain on the flight deck, so now he rapidly walked back to the elevator and rode down to the docking bay to find out what was so important. Come back and find out more in part 3. Goodbye for now.